Dollar store survival gear test. What actually works? Is cheap gear worth your life? Welcome to Rustic Rad, where we break down survival and outdoor skills you can depend on. In today's video, we're putting budget survival gear to the test because when you're out in the wild, your tools need to work, not just look the part. With just $20 and a trip to the dollar store, we picked up a handful of so-called survival essentials. But can cheap gear really hold up when it matters most? We'll be testing everything from fire starting and food prep to building shelter and purifying water. Fire starting tools, the real test of survival. When temperatures drop and the dark creeps in, fire is more than warmth. It's life, protection, and hope. We picked up standard lighters, safety matches, and a small fire starter block. The lighters worked okay at first, but 3 of 5 failed after less than a dozen flicks. Flints wore down fast. Matches disintegrated with minimal moisture, and their flame was weak. The surprise? The fire starter cube held a flame for over 7 minutes, even in slight wind. Lesson learned: buy multiple cubes and keep them dry. Shelter and weather protection, what keeps you dry? Hypothermia can set in within minutes in wet, cold conditions. Shelter isn't optional, it's critical. We grabbed a $1 plastic poncho, an emergency blanket, and a thin 5x7 tarp. The poncho was thin but manageable. In light rain, it held up. One tug on a branch, though, instant tear. The Mylar blanket reflected heat well and resisted light wind. When used over a sleeping bag, it boosted warmth significantly. Cutting tools, what can actually cut it? Without a blade, you're helpless. Can a $1 knife handle the wild? We tested folding knives, box cutters, and utility blades. The folding knife dulled fast, the hinge became loose, and it struggled with anything tougher than twine. Box cutters were more effective, especially for fine tasks like shaving wood for tinder. They're cheap and compact, but unsafe for heavy-duty work. No serration, no grip, just a gamble. Still, in an emergency, even a weak blade is better than none. Rope, tape, and fasteners, tying it all together. Can dollar store cordage hold up a shelter, secure a pack, or save your gear? We tested twine, zip ties, and duct tape, all $1 each. The twine worked for light lashing but snapped under real tension. Zip ties were surprisingly useful, great for temporary shelter frames or emergency repairs. The MVP duct tape, strong, waterproof, multi-use. We used it to repair gear, reinforce shoes, seal water leaks, and even bind minor injuries. Water containers and purification, don't die of thirst. Water is everything, but if you store it wrong or drink it dirty, it can kill you. We found collapsible water bottles, jugs, and coffee filters. The bottles held up well for temporary use. No leaks or breakage in cold tests. Coffee filters remove visible debris from muddy water before boiling or chemical treatment. We used unscented bleach, 4 drops per liter, for basic purification. Test strips showed safe chlorine levels after 30 minutes. Boiling is better, but bleach works in a pinch. No advanced filters at the dollar store, but the basics are enough if used right. Always pre-filter, always purify. Food and cooking gear, just enough to stay alive. Can you eat? Can you cook? If not, your energy disappears, and so does your chance of survival. We tested canned tuna, instant oats, a can opener, tea lights, and foil. The can opener was slow but worked. No sharp injuries or jams. The foil helped make a crude pan for boiling oats or warming food over a flame. Tea lights generated minimal heat, good for melting snow or warming a tiny space. First aid and hygiene, the dollar store lifeline. Minor wounds can become deadly without proper care. Does dollar store first aid hold up? We tested bandages, antibiotic cream, alcohol pads, and travel soap. Bandages were thin, weak, and lacked stickiness. Combined with duct tape, however, they stayed put. Alcohol wipes worked fine. Cream reduced swelling and infection risk in small cuts. Soap was usable but limited. Cut it into chunks to save space. This gear isn't sterile grade, but in a pinch, it handles basic issues. Pair it with your own meds for a smarter, budget-friendly kit. For $5, you can treat burns, cuts, and bites until help arrives. Light and signal when the sun goes down. When night falls, darkness becomes your worst enemy. Light can mean rescue or just survival. We picked up LED flashlights, glow sticks, and basic candles. The flashlight was bright, but burned through batteries fast. Carry extras. Glow sticks worked well for short bursts of visibility, perfect for marking trails or tents. Candles are old school but reliable. Just watch the wind. None of these match high-end tactical lights, but they work. For signaling, keep a whistle handy. 3 blasts means distress. Even cheap light can save you from injury or panic in the dark. In survival, staying seen means staying safe. Navigation and communication, find your way back. Getting lost can turn a situation deadly. Can the dollar store help you find your way? We tested a $1 compass, notepads, and mini pencils. The compass worked mostly. Slight lag, but consistent direction. We recommend cross-checking it if you can. Notepads were perfect for mapping landmarks, leaving messages, or noting supplies. They can also serve as fire-starting material in emergencies. No radios or GPS tools, of course, but some awareness beats none. Use landmarks and natural cues in combination with simple tools. Remember, your brain is your best compass. These just help guide it. Final verdict, what's worth packing? Not all cheap gear is garbage. Some of it might just save your life. But what should you really keep? Fire cubes, surprisingly reliable Mylar blanket, great for insulation duct tape, always useful collapsible bottles, solid temporary storage, coffee filters plus bleach, basic purification combo, folding knives, weak and risky matches, unreliable when wet poncho, flimsy in rough weather. Survival is about preparation, not price. Use dollar store gear as backups, not your main line of defense. For beginners, preppers on a budget, or backup kits, this gear adds value. But when it matters most, rely on tools you've tested, trusted, and trained with. Smart survival doesn't need big money. Whether you're bugging out, camping, or just curious, this channel is your guide to staying ready. Until next time, stay sharp, stay prepared. And remember, in survival, even $1 can be priceless. Thanks for watching. If you found value in this no-fluff gear breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow Rustic Rad for real-world survival skills and honest gear tests you can count on. Sharpen your skills, trust your instincts, and as always, stay rad.